everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I am reading on today. But before we get started, go right down here, go in your settings, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. Get it over with. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And I do from time to time pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis, that unrelenting algorithm. I really, really would appreciate it. And that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my little channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And that means everything, everything to this channel. All right, since we got all that out the way, let's get into the read. When I was putting the read together today, you know what I do. I get in these internet streets. But I want to tell you, I was not over to X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram, that much today. I was reading articles. And the reason I was going through articles were because I wanted to see what was going on. Because today is a very significant day in the UK. Today is the anniversary, the second anniversary of the death of Queen Elizabeth II and the ascendant to the throne of King Charles III. So I just wanted to see what they were talking about. So I went to all the articles. So I was over the Daily Mail, the Express, just all the rags. I was over there reading because I wanted to see how they were going to handle. I think they call it Ascendance Day, where the new monarch ascends to the throne. But I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, UK squatties, UK readers, put it in the comments. But today is the second anniversary of the Queen's death. And I just wanted to see how they were going to handle it because I remember how they handled her death and how they made it all about Harry and Meghan. This woman sit on the throne for 70 years and passed away. And these rags could not take their aim off of Harry and Meghan. It was a consistent dripping and smearing and targeting this couple the whole time they was over there. A couple who only came to stay for a few days and ended up staying 2 weeks away from their babies, small babies. And they still could not get past the fact that Harry and Meghan was in the country. They almost lost it completely. And there was their dead queen in a box, and they paid her no mind. It was about if Harry and Meghan was holding hands, if Harry was going to wear his uniform or not, if the emblem on his uniform was this or that, or if they wanted Meghan over where the Queen, before the Queen died, what Charles said to Harry on the phone, how Harry was going to get up to Balmoral. It was on and on and on about Harry and Meghan. And there was the dead Queen. They didn't care about that. And when the funeral was going on, it was all about Harry and Meghan, what Harry and Meghan was doing. And then that family made it about Harry and Meghan. Those witches of Eastwick all wore some of the Queen's jewelry. You know those tomb raiders. They, Sophie had a brooch on, and the horse, of course, she had on all kinds of jewelry from the Queen. And the head tomb raider, Kate, she had on the earrings and the necklace and the whole enchilada. And Meghan had on her simple earrings that the Queen gave her and outshined the whole bunch. You remember? That was when the queen died. And I said, surely 2 years later, they would do better, wouldn't they? And with my surprise, or maybe I should say I wasn't surprised. No, they didn't do a bit better. They were using the dead queen to try to stir up hatred against Harry and Meghan. Still doing the same thing. Them rags was just covered with Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan, Harry and Meghan. I saw one or two articles about the dead queen and maybe one or two about the live king. The one that William forget is still alive because he continues to talk about his coronation, and the one that he he forget that somebody has to die for him for that to happen. But it was only a couple of articles about that. All the articles was about Harry and Meghan, and specifically Meghan. Meghan was targeted because Meghan had the audacity to attend a private book club with friends on another continent 5,000 miles away that had nothing to do with them folks, but somehow that was disrespectful to the queen because it was the night before, it was the day before. And they wrote article after article after article, trying to use the dead queen to make people hate Meghan. If you love the queen, you got to hate Meghan because Meghan actually had something to do the night before. But don't look over here now because the king and his horse is actually attending things on the day that the queen died. Don't look at them. Just focus on Meghan at a private event that nobody would have ever knew about if the owner of, I think it's called the Godmother's bookstore, a local bookstore, hadn't tweeted something about it. It's ridiculous. This is something, like I said, I'm going to do the read on one of these articles, and then I'm going to do a read on, I'm going to do a little on this one, and then I'm going to do a little on another one that one of the readers in my comment brought it to my attention how vile it is and how horrible it is directed at Harry. And then a lot of this nonsense trying to get the queen and stuff like that, using the queen to try to turn against Harry too. Talking about how they snubbed the queen prior to her death. And you know what they talking about? When Harry and Meghan didn't go to Christmas. You remember that time they didn't go to Christmas? They went to Canada because they had to get away from all the nonsense these people was trying to destroy Meghan. That's what they talking about. They snubbed her before her death. And then they didn't go to Balmoral. This is what they are stirring up out there right now. I'm just gonna read just a few of the headlines so you'll know what they're doing. And I mean, and it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Let me find them because it's just ridiculous. Okay, uh, this one is Arthur Edward. He was on that Sun show. You know, they have a Sun show every week from that Sun newspaper. You know, with Matt Wickerson, and all they do is it's just he's a toady and he interview other toadies and flying monkeys. That's what they do. Now I think he a flying monkey. He a flying monkey, and but he don't call himself an expert. He is a reporter, and he is a nasty piece of work to say the least. And so he was interviewing Arthur Edward and this other man, and so Arthur Edward said this. Prince Harry dubbed loser in U.S. and he's told how to make amends with King Charles. So Harry needs to know how to make amends with a man who is his father. who is his father now, knew that he was on an island with his wife. It was Charles's son, Charles's son's wife, and his son's infant son on this island. And Charles pulls the security, leave them to the wolves, and then drops a dime on their location. So the wolves would know where to go to get them, and refused to take his son's phone call. But somehow, Charles putting his son's wife, and his infant son in danger, lives in danger, out there for everybody to know, God and everybody, and could have been killed, but somehow Harry owes him an apology. He needs to somehow make amends. This twisted family, I have never saw anything like it. I will abuse you. I will use you. I will scapegoat you. I will use you as a whipping boy. I will throw you under the bus, take you from under the bus, and throw you under the bus again. I will plant stories on you. I would enlist the newspapers and the tabloids to smear you. I will just do all these things to the point where your wife becomes to the brink of unaliving herself. But when it all does not work, you need to make amends with me. You need to apologize to me. Tell me that is not psychotic thinking. It is an illness. I have never saw anything like it except in a cult as a cult leader, feeling that they can do no wrong. What they do to you, you supposed to say thank you for it and keep your mouth shut. It is the most ridiculous thing. And this Arthur Edward per- person, I have never saw anybody cry, grieve, whine, and moan and bellyache as much as he did on this show about another man. And Harry don't even know him like that. But he act like he is grieving because Harry left and went on about his business to live his own life, but somehow it's an affront to him. It is the craziest thing. This whole thing is crazy to me. These people are nuts. I'm just saying. But that's what he said. All right, it's another one. And it's just okay. It's one that says Megan's speech is terribly disrespectful move as firm remembers late Queen. But yet and still they don't even know what her speech was about. They just saying she gave it. Just because she was in a private book club meeting and somebody tweeted out that she was there. That was disrespectful to the Queen. And if you ever love the Queen, you need to hate her for that. You need to hate her for that because even though she was 5,000 miles away, minding her business at a private event that we don't even know what was said in it, it was disrespectful to the Queen. Because the very next day, not the day she did it, but the very next day, the Queen's anniversary of her death. But yet and still, the king, the present king, can take him and his horse can go to an event on the very day. And nothing said, but Megan, oh, that's disrespectful. And then it says Megan, as the what's another one? I mean, it's just so many of them. Uh, I did the one with Harry, and it's an. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Hold on. I got to get to all of them. I cannot believe that I cannot find that. I had all in a row, and now I don't have them in a row anymore. But okay, here we go. And then here's another one. Meghan so dig at Royals at Oprah's party as eagle eye fans spot outrageous addition. And you know what they're talking about? Harry's book being on display on the table where local authors are exhibited. But Harry's, oh my God, even though he is a local author and he has every right to be on display on that table, it's a dig. These people are sick. And if they wasn't so-called journalists and they wasn't so-called um, you know, raw experts, they would be listed as stalkers. Look at that Jan Moore chick. Got on a plane and went way to Montecito. 5,000 miles she flew to talk to the lady in the coffee shop, in the bookstore, anybody who came along. And she wrote another nasty article that I am not even going to talk about Harry. And she looks like a cyclops. She looks like the flying monkey that she is. She has one eye that looks at you and one eye that looks for you. But yet and still, she got so much smoke for this beautiful couple. I can't. I can't. And look at and this one, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's brutal snub, late Queen twice before royal exit, trying to drum up using the dead Queen for hatred for Harry and Meghan. This crap has been going on for 8 years, and yet and still, William cannot draw 20 people that's interested in anything about him. But Harry shows up at the 10th anniversary of Invictus and they are lining the streets just to say, Harry, we love you. This is what we're dealing with. After 8 years, they have not succeeded. But like I said in a podcast, I think two or three back, we cannot take our foot off the gas because they keep coming, and today is a perfect example of them keep coming. All right, I'm but it's so much. I'm not going to go through all the articles because it'll go long, and I want to get into the two articles that I want to highlight for the read. But it's article after article after article using the dead queen trying to provoke hate against this couple. They're doing the same thing they did 2 years ago. They ignored the dead queen. They ignored what the dead queen wanted, but they don't never say anything about that. Charles made his horse the queen. I mean, downgraded the office of queen by putting Camilla in there. You know, it is not a flex anymore. They talking about, well, Kate gonna be queen. Kate gonna be queen. Well, Camilla is queen. That office don't have the shine no more. Now, when it had Elizabeth II in there, it had the shine. But the horse over here, they put her in there, it brought down the real estate value. I mean, it is at rock bottom. And then you got this woman who pulling the cancer card, she gonna be queen. And she has said some racist things about little Archie. So the queen, being the queen, ain't got the shine that it used to be. I'm just saying. But let's go on. We're going to talk about this. It's mostly a filler or article, meaning that they're talking about something they know nothing about. They know Megan attended this event because of Instagram. I think this lady posted on her Instagram or her X account. I don't know which, but with a few pictures with her with Megan and Oprah, and it was a private event. It was a closed door event. It was not a public event. It was people, friends getting together because of this bookstore. It was its grand opening, and they were featuring all different kind of people, like authors and whatnot. And it was a closed door event. So you telling me Megan cannot go to a private event, somebody's home or somebody's business, and somehow that's going to be disrespectful to a dead queen, but yet and still a man, when the dead, before the queen died, she said it out of her own mouth, she wanted this horse to be the queen consort, and now the horse is the queen. But y'all don't have no problem with that. The queen said that she wanted Harry to have security. Where is his security? The queen said that she gave Frogmore Cottage to Harry and Meghan. What happened with that? They only respect what the queen has to say when it's something that they want. Or the queen is only being disrespected when it goes against Harry and you can use it to stir up hatred against them. Miss me completely with your nonsense. As long as the horse is the queen, stop it. Let's go into this. We're gonna do just a little bit of it, like I said, because it's just it's such nonsense. It's just ridiculous what they talking about. Okay, the name of the article is it just irritates me. It says the name of the article is Meghan Markle speaks at Oprah Winfrey's event, which it was her book club meeting on eve of anniversary of late Queen's death. And like I said, the king and his horse did something on the day, but nothing was said about that. Meghan Markle spoke at Oprah Winfrey's book club session last night in California, where Prince Harry's controversial memoir, Spare, was proudly displayed. So what? I think a lot of people need to say that to these people more often. So what? So what? It was displayed. So what? It says Meghan Markle spoke at Oprah Winfrey's book club session last night in California, 5,000 miles away on another continent. Stop it. And then they was talking about it was a star-studded thing, and they know not what she said in it. And Harry's book was displayed on a table with other local authors. So what? I'm done with that. Let's go on to the other one because it is nonsense. It's all nonsense. This is an article that one of the squatties, one of my readers in my comments told me if I would make a comment or read about um, because it was so vile. And she did not lie. It was no lies told. I think it's been a long time since I have saw a vile and vitriol that's in this article against Harry. I mean, it's the butt hurt is on full display. It's sad. The name of the article is Prince Harry, You Would Have to Leave Meghan Behind, but Here's How Royal Return Could Work. Isn't that the dumbest, stupidest? Anyway, this is what she's saying. She goes into it, all that nonsense. And I'm going to put, she says, so in spirit of public service, here's some tips for the Duke of Sussex to engineer his return to that nonsense family. A, do not ever try to include your lovely wife in a reappropriation. If an annulment of the marriage isn't possible, simply work on the basis that for quite a lot of time you and Megan have to live on separate continents. Did you hear that, fool? Tell me it's not a disease. Talking about annulling a marriage with two children in it and just to return to be somebody's foot soldier, to be Prince William's third. Well, Kate is not coming back, so to be Williams plus one, so he can shine on him. Stop, stop. But she had the nerve to say it out loud. Then here she says, B, your children are not problematic. Bring over the presumptuously adorable Archie Lily to meet their grandfather with will soften everyone up and make for lovely press images. Bring Archie and Lily so we can take pictures of them, so we can sell the pictures. But but leave Megan. I know your marriage. You can't have her because she is just too much for us. She makes us feel bad. We unwoefully uh, we're so pathetic and sad when we compare ourselves to her, the person that she is. She makes us feel bad, so she cannot come. We don't want her because she makes us feel bad, because she's too accomplished, she's too smart, she's too beautiful, she's just too. And when we see her, she makes us feel bad, so we don't want her. But we want the children because we can use them for pictures and we can use them for publicity. We can use them, bring them. C, work ruefully on your father's Christian faith. Part of the deal, as you know, is forgiveness. Trying to appeal to Charles' Christian faith because he has so much to forgive you for. You actually told the truth on how he treated you and what he did. And when your mother died, he did not take you up in his arms. He left you for hours by yourself and he only touched you on your knee. He, you need to really get him to, appeal to his what did she say? His Christian faith. I don't see that adulterous. That man absolutely contributed, I believe, to the death of his mother and married his horse. He was having an affair with his own horse, but yet and still, somehow Harry is supposed to appeal to his Christian faith. Stop it. You look stupid. And then it seems clear that your brother can't stand you, and he's let it to be known that he wouldn't invite you to his coronation. Ouch. Eat mud. That's what she said. Eat mud. Be prepared to present prizes at church fetch and glad hand HSN hospital staffs for years to come. Embrace veterans. You're really good with veterans, and that should be no event too small for you to attend. Only when the royals and the public has seen you cheerful and gracefully gracious as the kind at these kinds of events, your wife would not be seen dead attending. Saying, when he comes back, he has to do all these really, really small events. You can't be on the world stage no more because that makes William feel bad. That hurts his ego. So you got to be at the NHS, I'm sorry, NHS, and you got to do the real small stuff and be real gracious and pitiful and grovel so we can forgive you. Stop it. I mean, tell me it's not a disease. Tell me these people are not crazy. These people need to be on a 72-hour hold. I'm telling you. And this is all during the time they begging Harry to come back. But yet and still you want to put all these stipulations on him if he comes back. Because you got to beg. You got to grovel. Harry's gonna be in New York being a boss. He gonna hit them streets and he gonna show y'all, no, I'm not gonna be at the NHS. I'm not gonna be at any kind of ribbon cuttings. I'm gonna be with former presidents and former secretaries of state solving world problems. No, I'm not being there. That's ridiculous. Want him to somehow demote himself in order to join that family again. Like, am I can't. And then she says, this is really important. Suck up to your aunt Anne, Princess Anne. She is a model of a hard-working royal. Get her on your side. Everyone is scared of her. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. And this is the last one. Cheer up. You have something to offer which the others don't. And this is the key. Cheer up. You have something to offer the others don't. The appealing, spectacular this appealing spectacle of a black sheep return. So Harry is supposed to be the black sheep. The royal family, as you have intimate in uh, the royal family you have imitated in your book, lives in a perpetual terror of becoming marginalized and redundant and unloved. You, for all your faults, have a charisma that your boring Uncle Edward do not. Make the most of it. Basically, what she's saying is that even though Harry is the black sheep, his family fear that they're going to become marginalized. And how did she put it? They have a perpetual fear or terror of becoming marginalized or redundant and unloved. Well, baby, I hate to tell you, it's already here. And they want Harry to come over and save them. And she said, but you have, but she says, you have charisma. That's something your boring uncle does not have. They want Harry back because he does have that charisma. He does. All I can say is not much. I'm just so outdone with these people to the point where they don't understand how sick they are. This is sick. I mean, you are constantly begging for somebody to come back, but yet and still you're trying to put stipulations on their return so you can feel better about yourself and then tell them they can't bring their wife because she's too spectacular. She makes us feel bad. She just too much. These people. I know Harry, sometimes Harry be in the shower because sometimes, when you're in the shower and you really start doing your deep, deep thinking, I bet sometimes Harry be in the shower and say, boy, I'm glad I'm away from that crazy place. Oh, God, I bet Harry think about all the stuff. And he said to himself, I am so glad I made it. So glad I made it. All right, y'all. Bye.